The asbestos issue is not a thing of the past. It continues to this day.
We want to end this man-made disaster.
So let's ban asbestos.
Linda knows it's dangerous to give me a microphone, but before we start, I'll tell you something that I wanted to, I kind of resonated with me this morning. I've been away for a few years, my wife and I, from this conference because I was busy running a startup, and it never left me a lot of time to do anything but that. It was a medical device startup. We proved the technology out and failed due to a fight over a hostile takeover, basically. But we went through a crisis about a year and a half ago. My co-founder, who was the CEO, had a heart attack. He had a heart attack because of the pressure of what was happening. And I had to step in and become CEO. And it was at a crisis point, a very low point. And my staff, which was senior staff, which was about a dozen people, was in disarray and quite demoralized. And I said to them, you know, there's the most important attribute of a manager, of a good manager or a leader, that is never taught in school. It's when it really can't be taught, because it's courage. It takes courage to be a manager. And that got me to thinking about the Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion. And I made the point that, you know, you're on your journey, you have your goal, you know where you're going, you never lose sight of that goal, just like Dorothy never did. And along the way, you have to take your knowledge and your wisdom, like the Scarecrow was seeking. You have to take your compassion and your love, like the Tin Man was seeking. You have to take your courage, like the Cowardly Lion was seeking. But in the end, when you get to where you are at the crisis point, you realize that you had the means to achieve your goal with you all the time, just like Dorothy did. And that is a very important lesson in any crisis, even a personal one like being diagnosed with mesothelioma. And with that, I want to introduce this session on navigating the medical maze, which any of you who have been through this know it can be tough. I think it's a little better today than it was 10 years ago when I first went through diagnosis. Maybe for Lou, it's a similar story today. But we want to start with Anne Samuelson, who's going to talk about From Grief to Empowerment.